Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. Let people know I've gone live. And in the meantime, if you've never met me before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And oh my goodness, I was working on some official stuff today and it stirred up the inside. That official interaction in those authority figures that have got a say over your actual life. These are things that make me a little bit nervous. I'd like to think that I'm courageous and that I am brave, that I am looking out for myself. And that's what I was doing in facing that fear. And oh my goodness, thank you so much to Evan Carmichael and his lessons yesterday. You know, because I do get distracted in those things that make me nervous, in those things that I struggle with. And we all have things that we struggle with, different things. And you might look at some of the things that I struggle with, like swinging heights, and think, oh my goodness, that's the silliest thing in the world. But to me, oh my goodness, so detrimentally important for me not to ever put myself in that situation if I possibly can, right? And I'm very careful about it. I don't very often, if my life depended on it, I couldn't hold my own weight up. If you gave me a piece of rope and told me to dangle there for 10 seconds, I couldn't do it, right? And it's always been that way with me, but I don't think that's where that fear lays. I've done a little work on myself, and that dangling fear for me is, well, maybe a little bit from what I was doing today. It is up there and swinging and holding on, right? And you're just dangling, and you don't have that strength to hold on. You're going to drop. It's just a matter of how we're going to drop. If we're going to land on all fours like a cat, or if we're going to go just like that, flat on our faces, or maybe there's nobody there to catch us in that, and this for me is the swinging heights, being up there, and knowing that in a moment you're going to be down there, but right, how comfortable the transition is that going to be? And I'm not a big fan of the swinging heights. And I did a little bit of that today in my uncomfortableness, because in dealing with that, I am now at it's not the mercy, but I am in the judgment of somebody else that could alleviate a little bit of worry out of my lap, or it could add to that little bit of, oh my goodness, get cracking, right? What are you going to do? And then these are the moments I thrive in. I don't want to be in that less than I want to be in swinging heights. Well, maybe not, but I don't want to put myself in that mix. I like to take baby steps. I like to transition into things slowly. I like to move in that change that I know that I have to make, but I do it at a pace that the word is, capable of. And sometimes, you can beat yourself up for not being more capable. You look at other people and you go, oh my goodness, I should be able to do that. Look at it. It's nothing for them. And to you, it's just like, oh my goodness, like not a chance, right? And then we get anxiety in that. And then that's when we need to be able to focus and be able to bring ourselves back to the main branch of the tree and just understand that we're not them, right? I'm Cindy. I have problems with swinging heights, I have problems with official stuff. But nobody's going to do that for me. That's something I have to do by myself. And so I have to be able to motivate myself in that. You know, it's so easy just to throw your hands up in the air, like a little bit what we were talking about yesterday, and just give up in that. But where would I be right now? I would have, instead of a maybe 50-50 chance of a little bit of alleviation in my woes of wanting to make a little bit of movement in a good direction, or it could be a totally different story, right? Because it would be nothing because I didn't make any move at all, right? 50 chance, zero chance. I will overcome my fear. I will stop myself in that distraction. And that's pretty much what I had to do today because it was a big one for me. I don't get a lot of those really, really big ones. That's about as big as it gets for me, right? And that's the truth. And you say, well, how are you supposed to deal with the little ones? Well, what are the little ones? Those little ones might not be little ones to me, right? My big ones, you're looking at that going, oh my goodness, it's filling out a form. It's pulling up and downloading a few other forms, right? It's a little bit of conversation and explanation. And you get yourself through it, right? You get yourself through it. And was it hard? Yes, it was hard. It was hard because I'm trying to do a difficult thing in a way that it doesn't impact in any way negatively in any sector or any parties in that amazing relationship that I had, right? And you know, it's in that loyalty that we put that extra effort in, and I don't mind doing it. It might not even serve me well, it might even work against me, but you know what, I'm going to feel good about doing that. You know, those are in my lessons, and I take my lessons seriously. So I'm going to trust that everything is going to work out. But oh boy, was it a doozy day. I was scheduled because I am in my distraction battle plan, and I've got a little bit of a set schedule. I'm on day number 2, and I've screwed it up already. I haven't screwed it up just today, but I screwed it up yesterday too because I was right on time, right until after I did my live show. And after I did my live show, I crashed. And in that crashing, I felt bad because it was the first day. But then I put myself to work and I went back. So even though I wasn't on the schedule, I decided I was still going to complete the schedule, and I did. I was kind of proud of myself when I left. Disappointed that my first day and I'm failing and it wasn't a difficult setup. I took some time and I took it in a way that I could manage, and I could manage, right? But I crashed, right? If there was no more, no extra, no gravy, no sprinkles to carry on yesterday, so be it. But I got right back into it today. But because I recognized after I did my live show, I totally crashed. I was determined to get through the most difficult task of the day at the very least, and I was not going to stop. I wasn't going to carry on with the schedule. I was going to move forward into the next hour until not only did I work on the most important uh, project on the plate, the most important thing that I had to get done, I was going to complete it. Why? Because of the distractions, because of the way that I can procrastinate and what I have to do. That when I get stressed out, or if I feel like I'm in the dangling heights, that I'm going to jump up and I'm going to look for something to do. And it's really good. I've got little things, right? Get the clothes for the day put out, get the dishes quickly done, right? Wipe the bathroom, stuff that I got to do anyway, right? So that when I finally have motivated myself to get the task done at hand, that the other things that were on the schedule in the forward, right, will have been done already. So today I only finished it, like, it was almost 5 o'clock at night when I finished. And when I finished, I recognized how draining it was, because I was doing something I would prefer not to do. Let's just be honest. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it, right? So, and nobody was going to do it for me. So I did it. I hacked through it. It took me hours. It took me hours, but I was good at it because it's something I'm just going to do once, and I'm never going to do it ever again in my entire life. But it's done now. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? Well, like I did yesterday, I'm going to continue where I left off, and I am going to not finish the schedule on time, right? But I'm going to finish the schedule. I'm going to be, right, that little old lady who crosses the finish line during the marathon, right? And there might not be anybody there to cheer me on, right? But I'll give myself a little pat on the back for attempting at the very least. And who's to say? Maybe there's none left. But the one thing that was different today than it was yesterday in that crash is that I really truly didn't finish anything off. I didn't accomplish truly what I had sent out to do. So the feeling today already, even though I still have a few things to complete, right, in my scheduling, that I feel pretty good because, right, I'm not in dangling heights anymore in the moment, right? It's out of my hands. It's spilt milk. It's out of my control. Why am I going to put that energy there to worry about anything, right? So we're just going to let that play out however that plays out. And I suspect tomorrow I will be pretty on ball, I think. Pretty on ball, right? And tonight I'll be feeling pretty good because I'm going to add something into the mixes. I'm going to get outside tonight and I'm going to go for a walk. I need garbage bags, and there was something else that I needed, and I better remember because it's twice now that I forgot to pick it up. Oh, something in the cleaning section. Oven cleaner. I need oven cleaner. Twice now I forgot to grab my oven cleaner. I need my oven cleaner. Cleaning the oven tomorrow is on the plan, right? To get that oven cleaner. It will help me out too, because there's nothing more surprising and more scary than when my fire alarm goes off because I've made some toast. Because that's how sensitive my fire alarms are. You got to keep your stove clean, new liners, right? Otherwise, you're going to have issues. So I'm going to go for a walk tonight. I'm going to get my oven cleaner. And there was another thing. Oh, the garbage bags. Get those, and then I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go pick up a cup of coffee and walk home, and then I'm going to write for an hour, and that will be my last task for the day. And then I finished what was on my schedule. I might even be able to post something because I wrote a little bit last night in staying in that task, and I gave it a good hour, and then nothing, it was just blank. And then I got an idea and I went in and I found it and it kind of worked. So I kind of in the process of modifying, and I've had a few lessons. I'm being inspired by something I wrote last year on Instagram. So we'll see how that works out for me. So I'll be back into the writing for an hour tonight, and then the rest of the evening will be mine. Okay, you guys, I just wanted to share that, right? Because it is in that relationship that we have with ourselves that we actually get things done or not. And sometimes we're lucky to be inspired, motivated. Thank you again for that lesson. This schedule has served me very, very, very well this week. That is done, and that was something I really was struggling in doing because it was something I didn't want to do. Right? It's not that I couldn't do it. Right? Wasn't that I wasn't. It was just because I didn't want to do it outright. I wasn't really willing to go there, and I was kind of fighting myself in that and giving myself outsies in that. But it's done now. Let's have a sip of my coffee. We're going to pick a words. Just stick with it for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to put my boots on, my jacket, and I'm going to go out for an hour or so, get some fresh air. I'm going to feel so much better when I get back. My desk is clean. It's part of the schedule. I'm ahead of the game in some things, right? But yeah, I got an hour of writing, and if I can get that posted, if I can post that tomorrow, right? And I think I will keep this exact same schedule going on, and I think it'll work for me. It might be a permanent thing for the next little while. It's helping me to stay grounded, and I very much appreciate that. Okay, here's the card right here. Oh, we got this card this week. Well, the first thing that came to mind when we got this word integrity were these government forms that I was filling out today. To be honest, in how I was going about what I was doing. That I wanted to make sure that I just wasn't painting things out like everything was roses. That what do you call that? That that I'm the sweet one or somebody else was wrong. That I want to take responsibility for my part of things that didn't work out. And if you figure that out, it's the right in leaving that job, right? That put a roof over my head. Right? So grateful for that job that gave me something to ground in besides all of this, right? But right, my distraction battle plan. That's the ticket for now. Okay, so I'm just looking to see what I said in integrity, because that's the integrity, right? That's what I have to walk away with, is how I feel about myself. I have felt so crappy about myself for the most part of my life. And in that guilt and shame, I didn't know the difference between guilt and shame. And I didn't understand that I didn't have to take responsibility for everything that wasn't right with somebody's world with me in it. Okay, let me find this word, integrity. We had it last. Oh, here it is. Number 20, number 22. And you know what? I need this in my distraction battle plan. as on my project list of things to accomplish, my schedule, because I haven't finished these cards yet. I've got the words down, and in some of the cards, I've got my insights written in them. But I'm still half the time going into my book here to find out what I had written about it, what the insight was, what was the inspiration, right? Okay, integrity. Oh, you guys, it's so good. Integrity sets the example to others. Isn't that amazing? And that is so true. And like I said, all the time we can set out to people please and present ourselves as something that we're not, right? But if you really do it right, you can walk away feeling good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, people feel that. People recognize that. They're either going to be drawn by that or repelled by that. You know, to each one of us, we get to decide and make those choices for ourselves, right? But you know what? For me, I want to be that example that if you could just keep moving forward, if you can overcome yourself sometimes in those difficult limitations, because sometimes they're just difficult in your head and not in actual reality, but because of the way we were brought up to think that it is eventually turned into a little bit of a handicap, and you either got to adapt and conquer with that handicap, or you got to overcome it, or you just got to plow through it. I think I do a little bit of all of that. um, Depending on the situation and what's being called for in the moment. And I have to be truthful in saying that too. And it's not a matter of manipulation, it's a matter of bringing the right truth, the truth that can be seen rather than the truth that can't be seen, because lots of truth can't be seen. And that's a truth too. Okay. Integrity sets the example for others, and that's what I want to do. And I got a good taste of that today in what I was doing. I was trying to really be that integral person, that person who does what they feel is right and not necessarily do what they think is right, because we don't always think what's right. And that's a truth, right? And that's a truth. That was a good one. Integrity is the example, right, we set for others. Okay, you guys, I am going to go for a walk. You guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. And I'll let you know if I'm on schedule, if I did a lot better. You'll know if you see a post on Instagram, or if you find a short here in my community section. That's where I'm going to be posting it, in my community section. So keep your eye open for that. Okay, you guys, have a great day.